Okay, back to humans. Tyler Watts, Greg Duncan, and Honan Kwan. I think that's his name. Sorry if I butchered it, whoever's that is.
They're not listening. It's okay.
I hope they would be. Well, they did a much more in-depth study. They used 900 children.
Wow.
Compared to, there was 90 kids in the original experiment. So that alone kind of gives it more credibility. But.
Okay, as a qualitative researcher, I despise that you just suggested you need a larger sample size to have any kind of credibility or legitimacy for your work. Not true.
Okay, but if you had the same experiment with, although it would still be credible, 900 compared to 90 kids would be better, would it not?
Not necessarily. Doing 900 kids, the amount of funding and manpower and time that would go into this, when I'm just taking a wild guess here, I'm assuming the results probably aren't really different than the 90 study one. But I'm open to having my mind blown.
So, actually,
the results are the same.
They're different. So, their team, like Watson and his team, did not believe that just because a child was better at delayed gratification, that it improved their SAT scores.
Okay.
So, here is part of why there was 900 kids. They compared children from different environments. So they looked at ethnicity, they looked at income, family income, and also education. So what they found is when the mother had a college degree, those who waited for the second marshmallow compared to the ones that ate the first one did better on the test scores. But here's where it gets weird, and I don't get this.
Okay.
If the mother did not have a college degree, it didn't matter if the kid waited or not. But
so my immediate instinct here is telling me that basically the difference between this test and the other, or this study and the other study, is really about like homogeneity. So if you did a test with a homogeneous group of kids, you're likely going to find that delayed gratification has an impact. But when you spread it out over, multiple different groups of people from very different circumstances, there's going to be other factors in play that would impact it more. But if you did groups that were all singled and homogeneous, delayed gratification, I'm assuming in my perspective, would still have an impact.
Yes, I would say so.
Does Watson say so?
Well, partially. So they also did the household income. The number of, and they also looked into the household income, the number of books in the household, and how responsive the mothers were to the children. All these are very plausible reasons why someone will be successful. What they found, the lower the family income, the lower the delay of gratification the kids could do. And makes sense.
Well, it's basically like the scarcity principle, right? If you're coming from an environment where you might not have such easy access to things, it makes sense that when you do have access to it, you're just going to want to have it right then because you don't know if it's still going to be there afterwards, right?
Yes, definitely. And it's also kind of like your life isn't as enjoyable, or maybe it's more stressful. So those little things mean a lot more to you. Like the, not instant gratification, but more like things that give you gratification because you don't enjoy your life as much as you could.
Yeah.
That, you know what I mean?
I could see that.
Or at least there's a higher chance if there's lower income. But definitely that kind of brings into the thought of rich and poor people think differently.
Mm-hmm.
So, and maybe like rich kids, like you said, the opposite of scarcity, they always believe that they're going to get it. And that's not in the back of their mind, that if they don't need it now, they can do it.
Yeah, some rich kid in the study, they'd probably just be like, we have marshmallows at home. I don't care.
Probably.
Not to generalize rich kids either, but, you know.
So actually, the number of books in the household also made a difference. More often than not, the kids that had a lot of books and they were reading a lot did more successful on the SAT scores. And it wasn't delayed gratification. It didn't matter. And how responsive the mothers were to children was a major factor.
Mm-hmm.